I saw this. All of it.
You have the sight.
Don't pretend ignorance. My Bene Gesserit sisters knew of my history, of my time among the Fremen.
It's true. You drank water of life. You survived the weirding ritual.
How else could I do as my sisters commanded? Without the power of the blessed water, I could never have survived the scrutiny of the Emperor's seers.
But you did. And Carino is dead by your hand. Perhaps you are the one.
The atrocity was born of duty. I served you well. You expect more from me? What do you want from me? Speak. Truth.
You dare to use the voice! You dare to enter my mind unbidden!
You are not what you seem, Reverend Mother. What horror are you planning?
This interview is over. You will obey us, sister, or you will die. God! I can only die once. There are deaths, and there are deaths. You will obey us.
Know then that the first great spice war on the planet Arrakis has ended. The Emperor Carino is dead, poisoned by his concubine, the Lady Ilara. Now, a new war rages for the control of the Golden Lion Throne. A great civil war between the noble houses of the Landsraad. Only 3 houses remain with the resources and ability to seize control of the throne. The noble Atreides, the insidious Ordos, the evil Harkonnen. All 3 are evenly poised. All 3 are equally committed. All 3 know that the key to victory lies on a vast, barren, waterless world. Arrakis, home of the most precious substance in the known universe. The spice melange. The spice extends life. The spice expands consciousness. The spice is vital to space travel. A new war begins. Each of the 3 great houses to gain the majority of occupied territories on the planet. Who controls Arrakis? The spice. And who controls the spice controls the universe.
The reign of House Carino is ended. Another house must take its place. I am Shafla. I represent the Spacing Guild's interest in this matter. Under the terms of the Great Convention, a limited form of warfare known as the War of Assassins has been declared by 3 factions. House Atreides, House Harkonnen, and House Ordos. The rules of conflict are declarations of intent. Who would speak for House Atreides?
I am the Duke Achilles of Arrakis.
Of Arrakis! Oh my, I'm too rich. I see the Atreides still harboring delusions of superiority.
I was told I would be able to speak.
Baron, you will have your time.
Indeed, I will.
House will abide by the terms of the Great Convention. Our intent is to secure the planet Arrakis and oversee the production of spice for the good of all.
Baron Rakan.
I had hoped to avoid this unfortunate conflict. My intent was to make a gesture of peace.
Peace? We have oft-times seen the Harkonnen's treachery. While he talks of peace, he plans for war.
Talk is irrelevant. Peace is not an option.
Who is this creature?
It speaks for the executrix of House Ordos.
Is the executrix afraid to speak for themselves? Are they so cowardly?
We are the executrix of House Ordos. We fear nothing. We will abide by the terms prescribed by this council. We will eliminate all competitors in the end. We will prevail. All other considerations are trivial.
Let it be war, then! We will take Arrakis! We will control the space!
Control nothing. Enough! Know, then, that the War of Assassins has begun. The war will be limited to the planet Arrakis. Use of atomics is forbidden. So long as these rules are followed, the Guild will not. But understand this. During this conflict, and following it, no matter what the outcome, the spice flow. This council is ended. The war begins.
It has never ended. Arrakis lies at the hub of the universe. Once more, the wheel is poised to turn.
House Ordos of the Ice World Draconis IV. The Ordos are known for their use of forbidden technologies. Their leader is the Executrix, 4 beings that share a single mind. They communicate through a creature known only as the Speaker. The Ordos are mercenary. They care for nothing save power and wealth. In the language of the Ordos, there are no words for the concepts of trust or honor. There are more than 300 for the concept of profit.
I have procured a new military strategist, as you directed.
Strategist and overseer. The occupation has many facets. Show it the fate of the precursory strategist. Fear is an efficient tool of management.
Let me die.
Your predecessor's contract is ended. Yours is now in force. I am Roma Atani, Mentat to the Ordos Executrix. To assure our victory in the War of Assassins, House Ordos has procured the technology to create Golas. Slave warriors grown in flesh vats, genetically formed from the corpses of our fallen. These should prove quite effective for infiltration and assassination. As strategist and overseer, you will command our forces on Arrakis. That is the directive. You will recover territories lost by your predecessor. Is the imperative. You will acquire the planet and its one profitable feature, the spice melange, for House Ordos. That is the only acceptable outcome. Failure is not an option.
Few have set foot on Salusa Secundus and lived to speak of it.
A single life is irrelevant.
And what is relevant, Mentat?
The Sardakar's function is to serve an emperor. Without one, you have no purpose.
Without an emperor, we are ruled by the forces of chaos.
That is intuitively obvious. And with chaos, there can be no profit. House Ordos will bring order out of chaos.
Will you? How?
Enter!
My lord!
Treachery! Have you lost your mind? On your feet, General! No. Carino is... What is this abomination? Face dancer? I am no face dancer.
It speaks with the Emperor's voice.
I am Carino in all ways, I am not Carino. Spare me your riddles! What are you? Speak truth or die, here and now. I am a genetic duplicate.
A Gola.
Is that...
Genetic samples were taken from the dead body of the Emperor and smuggled from Kaitan by Tailaxu spies. These have been purchased by House Ordos.
He is identical to Carino in every respect.
Your Emperor could return to his throne. A campaign of propaganda could explain that he fled an assassination plot and took asylum among the Ordos.
Things would be just as they were.
No. This creature was born of the Tailaxu flesh vats. How can it be trusted? Mentat, tell your executrix that the Sadukar will travel to Arrakis to observe the war. And we will ally with the house that proves strongest. Should that be House Ordos, then we will discuss the proper use of this thing. And when I have been returned to my throne, Sadukar, we shall discuss your disrespect at length. Perhaps. But as the Mentat graciously pointed out, a single life is irrelevant. Come, Bursig. Our troops leave for Arrakis within the hour.
You have performed satisfactorily. I am directed by the Executrix to reveal classified information at this time. The Gola is conditioned to be loyal to House Ordos. When House Ordos defeats its enemies, the Gola will be placed on the throne as a puppet emperor. The Executrix will remain the true leaders of the Empire. Your immediate concern is Arrakis. The planet is infested by sentient nomads, the Fremen. They survive by wearing water reclamation systems. These exodermal units are still suits. These creatures are of little use to the Ordos. Avoid all conflict with them. But if they should interfere with your mission, destroy them. That is the directive. The troop reinforcements are adequate, Great Ones. When we return to Arrakis, how shall we proceed?
There is a new directive. We wish to test our recently acquired weapons technology. Deviator gas. Those who breathe it are driven into a killing frenzy. They are also highly susceptible to suggestions. You will transport a container of the gas to the maintenance area of the Highliner. There, it will release it into the air supply.
Before we reach Arrakis.
That is the directive.
I would not presume to question the judgment of the Executrix.
That is wise.
This will violate the terms of the Great Convention.
The convention is irrelevant.
The supremacy of House Ordos is the only consideration.
You have been given the mission. If you value your contract and your life, you will not fail. Your performance is acceptable. The termination clause of your contract will not be utilized at this time. A strategy must be devised with regards to weapons procurement. The Tailaxu and Ix both offer new technologies that could prove useful. But the two are enemies. Each has made it clear that we are not to trade with the other. To do so would be a violation of contract. House Ix offers several new devices. They have developed projectors, armored vehicles that project holographic illusions. They have also developed infiltrators, a counter-technology that will expose any type of enemy stealth unit. House Tailaxu offers new technology as well. Contaminators, bat-grown human hybrids that carry a virus. The virus mutates living tissue, transforming them into additional contaminators. leeches. Bioengineered tanks that convert enemy units into replicas of themselves. A strategy must be devised. It may be possible to deal with both suppliers, but not without risk. If either convert or deal with its enemy, they will retaliate. Consider your options carefully. The purpose of our journey to Draconis IV is a review of your recent performance. I believe that the Great Ones will find it to be satisfactory. You should be aware, however, that... Transmission accepted.
There has been a complication. A malfunction has occurred during a test of the Tylaxo leeches and contaminator units. They have escaped from the confinement area. The devices are increasing in number and have become unmanageable soon. They will overrun the Great Hall of the Executrix. Our existence is threatened. You will return to Draconis IV to prevent our destruction. That is the directive.
You must destroy the malfunctioning weapons and prevent the destruction of the Executrix. That is the imperative. Prepare your troops! It is a life form known as a sandworm. It appears to be non-functional. We are picking up an unusual energy signature. The vehicle is of Tylaxu design. We do not know their interest in the worms, but we have reason to suspect a hidden agenda. They have malicious intent with regards to the incident on Draconis IV. The Executrix has accepted this in order to preserve our access to Tylaxu technology. More information is required. We will increase our surveillance of the Tylaxu home world. In the interim, you will acquire the support of the Sardaukar. The Fremen must also join us, or be destroyed.
We orbit the home world of House Atreides.
Their destruction will ensure our supremacy.
Attacking their home world is the most efficient process by which to achieve that objective.
House Ordos must control Arrakis.
Failure is not an option.
The planet is ours. But there is a complication. The Highliner that transported us to this planet has returned to Arrakis. Our information network reveals that the Guild and the Tylaxu have launched a joint attack upon our remaining forces. The Highliner is unavailable, but I have entered into a business transaction with the Arakeen smugglers. They will transport our frigates back to Arrakis, covertly. That is the revised directive. We have arrived without detection. However, the situation on the planet is unacceptable. The Tylaxu have released contaminators and leeches. The nutritional provisions of all the houses have been contaminated with the psychotropic drug. They are now under the control of the Guild and the Tylaxu. Word has also reached our operatives of a covert project. The Guild and the Tylaxu are experimenting with the sandworms at a complex in the desert. Their objective is to seize the throne by breeding a man-worm with powerful telekinetic ability. They call it the Emperor Worm.
The plan is perfect. It cannot fail. You have the woman?
Bring her! Is the Mind Killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. That face is a blasphemy. Why do you retain it? Do you think I cannot see the truth?
It proved useful.
You've done well, Celix. The Guild will remember this.
The Thylaxu are always pleased to serve the highest bidder.
I understand you drank the illuminating poison while among the Fremen, the narcotic produced at the moment of death by a drowning sandworm. Can you see your own future, my dear?
I have no future.
Precisely. But your life fluid, your water, it has a glorious future. It will provide our new Emperor Worm with power beyond imagining.
By killing me, you ensure your own deaths!
We will all die, but the Emperor Worm will live on! Magnificent, is he not?
There is a new directive in this final battle.
There is a laboratory complex on the planet.
Its destruction will ensure our victory.
You will seek it out and destroy it.
That is your mission.
If you do not, House Ordos will fall.
That is not an acceptable outcome.
Victory will mean wealth and power for all who survive.
Failure is not an option.
We are Ordos.
We are one.
House Ordos is victorious. You are to be commended. The conditional clause in your compensation package is now in force. The termination clause will not be utilized. Prosperity to House Ordos and to the ruler of the known universe, the Padishah Emperor, Shaddam IV!
Is the war over, finally? Truly, there are those among us with the gift of prophecy, the ability to see beyond the present moment to events that lie ahead. Yet even their sight is limited. Time is a vast desert, and each moment a single grain of sand. Who can truly know what the future holds? Who can know what lies in wait beyond the Dune?